Hello everyone, this is Ina Discipleship and I'm back with another video. I was looking at the story of Esther, and it dawned on me something that's very important as it relates to love. Queen Esther did not want to marry that king. She did not want to marry the king. She wasn't very interested in him whatsoever. But that was the person that God ordained for her to marry, because again, it was going to set her people free. It was going to set her people free. It was going to do a whole lot of things, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of things that was done that wasn't necessarily mentioned, which means your person that God necessarily wants you to be with, you may not be so keen on the idea in the beginning. You may not be so keen on the idea. So don't get thrown off if God has somebody for you and you're just like, I'm so not interested. I'm so not interested. Sometimes those can be the best love stories of all time, because when you figure out why God aligned you guys together, why God brought you guys together, you'll be like, oh my God, this was even greater than what I could have ever imagined and planned for myself. So I understand that we are human and we can have a type. Some types come from very toxic and traumatic experiences, but that's for another day. But whatever the case may be, we can have a type. We can have some things that we like about the opposite sex, but please know, if God has somebody for you and he keeps on nudging you and pointing you in that direction, take a second to figure out why. Take a second to figure out why, because it will probably bless you entirely. It will bless you entirely. It's not a probably. If it's from God, it will bless you entirely. So please understand that you may not be very interested in that person. And if you have that experience, maybe you married somebody that you wasn't necessarily interested in before and it ended up working out for your good. Maybe you were you're dating someone and at first you wasn't interested, but they kept pursuing you and you're like, okay, this works. Give us that story, give us that testimony, because I really believe that a lot of times people think that, all the sparks in the world is supposed to happen as soon as you meet that person. And that's not necessarily true. And a lot of times that's not necessarily true for the woman, maybe for the man. So again, Queen Esther was not very interested in the king. She actually did not want to marry him, but it was in her best interest. And because when you love the Lord, sometimes you got to fall in love with the plan instead of the man. Meaning, of course, she loved her husband. Of course, she's going to do great things. I mean, she did a lot to even be with him in general. A whole year of beauty rituals and character building and fasting beforehand, and respected him and came to him in the way that she was supposed to come to him, which means she obviously loved him because she loved the Lord. So at the end of the day, it worked out. It worked out. So please know that just because all the fireworks doesn't happen when you meet somebody does not mean that that person is not sent from God. It could very well be sent from God, and you just have to get to know them a little bit more and understand their heart and what God has in store for you guys for it to all make sense. Okay, so don't judge a book by its cover. Let God go ahead and reveal what's in the inside. So I hope this helps someone, and I pray that you guys have an amazing, fantastic day. Bye.